You sent a text an hour ago, something simple, and now you're staring at your phone, waiting, while your brain has already written 12 different explanations for why they haven't replied. Maybe you came across as needy. Maybe something you said last week is finally catching up to you. Maybe. Then they reply, "Sounds good." 2 words, and you exhale like you've been underwater for a month. If that's you, you are not broken. You're just someone whose brain takes relationships very seriously. And today, we're going to talk about why. Here's the thing most people get wrong about overthinking. They treat it like a character flaw, like something to be ashamed of. But what's actually happening inside your brain is far more interesting than that. It's called social threat monitoring, and it's ancient. When humans lived in tribes, being rejected from the group wasn't just painful, it was fatal. You needed people to survive. So your brain evolved to obsessively track social signals, a tone shift, a pause that lasted too long, a look that felt off. Every one of those was survival data. The problem is that system never got the memo that we live in apartments now. So when someone doesn't reply, your amygdala, the brain's alarm system, fires like there's actual danger. It doesn't distinguish between social rejection and a lion in the bushes. To your nervous system, they feel surprisingly similar. This is why overthinking conversations doesn't feel like a choice. It isn't one. It's your ancient brain protecting you with tools built for a world that no longer exists. And then there's what psychologists call the post-conversation audit. You know this one. The moment an interaction ends, your brain opens a case file. I interrupted them. I laughed too loud. That last sentence came out wrong. And suddenly, a 15-minute chat becomes a 2-hour internal trial where you're both the defendant and the judge. But here's the cruel irony. The more you replay it, the less accurate you get. Because you're not analyzing the conversation anymore, you're analyzing your fear about it. You're building a case using your own insecurities as evidence, not theirs. Research by psychologists Gilovich and Savitsky found that people massively overestimate how much others notice their awkward moments. In their experiments, people thought roughly half the room had noticed their embarrassing slip-up. The real number? Less than a quarter. Because everyone else is too busy starring in their own internal drama to notice yours. The person you're replaying that conversation with, they went home, ate dinner, and thought about their own awkward moments. In their story, you're a background character. Knowing this doesn't always stop the spiral, and that's okay. Intellectual understanding and emotional experience live in different parts of the brain. You can know something is irrational and still feel it completely. That's not weakness, that's just being human. So here's the reframe I want to leave you with. Overthinkers are, almost without exception, some of the most empathetic and perceptive people in any room. You notice things others miss. You choose your words carefully because you know they carry weight. You care deeply about the people in your life. That's not a disorder, that's depth. The work isn't to stop caring what people think. The work is to gently remind your brain that you are safe, that one stumbled sentence won't cost you everything, that you are not the worst moment in every conversation. You are the whole person who showed up and tried. And that person is more than enough. If this felt like it was written about you, drop a comment below, even just the word "same," and subscribe, because this is exactly the kind of thing we explore here every week. See you in the next one.